welcome to Impact the Borough, the podcast from the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. I'm Brent Christensen, President and CEO of the Chamber. Each week, we'll check in with our partners to share inspiring stories and important information from across the borough, highlighting what we're doing to start and grow businesses, create quality jobs, and develop our workforce. This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit Truliant.org for more information.
Good afternoon. My name is Bramley Crisco, and I am the Director of Talent Development for Action Greensboro. We are excited to host today Impact the Borough podcast, what I'm calling the College and University edition for here in Greensboro. And we're even more thrilled to be able to chat with one of the universities that's our partner through Campus Greensboro. We have Lonnie Cockerham here. He's going to share some things about North Carolina A&T State University. Founded here in Greensboro in the late 1800s and now the largest historically Black college and university in the U.S. And so we're excited to have this conversation and learn a little more. Lonnie is the director of the Office for Community Engagement for North Carolina A&T State University, and he's got lots of good info he's going to share. So Lonnie, welcome, and we really appreciate your participation.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Would you share just a little bit about your role and then really give us an overview of the university? If there's anyone out there who may not know what we're talking about, give us a high-level overview of the school and things you guys have going on today.
Sure. So in my role as the executive director of the Office for Community Engagement at North Carolina A&T State University, I work to help the university become more involved in public programs, community building initiatives, different types of volunteer efforts, building community partnerships with businesses or foundations, nonprofits, and so forth, with individuals. I also work on initiating and expanding partnerships with community-based organizations, making the campus more accessible to the community, and bring the talent of the university to support research, learning, and assessment within the community.
Very nice. That's why you are a perfect guest, because we are so excited to highlight for our audiences the extreme value that our universities and colleges here in Greensboro provide to our community, and then hopefully that our community, provides back for their students. We do a lot of work at Campus Greensboro to connect those students to the things we have going on here locally. And, I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that there across the universities here, more than 50,000 college students are enrolled here in Greensboro every year. And I'd love to hear just a little bit more about the students there and what your enrollment looks like at North Carolina A&T and kind of, where the university is today.
Okay, great. So enrollment is around 14,000. I know we've pushed beyond the 13,000. In recent years. I know that the university enrollment continued to grow even throughout the pandemic, and that was an amazing feat. I will say that our students are very highly selective when they choose to come to North Carolina A&T State University. Many of them have many other options to attend other universities. I know that as I walk from my car into my office, I see groups and groups of families out there on the lawn taking tours of the campus. So the students are very involved in providing tours, in telling our story. Students, as you know, are involved in many different types of activities, not only locally through their volunteer efforts. Of course, their studies or their schoolwork comes first, but they're definitely in the community doing work to try to better Greensboro, with North Carolina A&T being located in East Greensboro, an area of the county and the state that has seen its own level of disinvestment over years and years. The students are doing a great job of trying to help uplift the local community in any way that they can and be very supportive in off-campus activities as well as on-campus activities. The students are very motivated. Um, I've been on a partial tour with some of the students and I've seen how they project, how they love A&T just as I did when I was a student between 1984 and 88, returning in 2012 and finishing up in 2016. So I'm twice a graduate of the university and now I work here and I'm very proud to see how the university has grown over the years. And if I could reflect back for a moment, two of my very first professors from 1984 are still here, as well as Chancellor Emeritus Edward Fort. So to see that kind of history carry over and see that kind of love and passion carry over the decades means a great deal to me.
It's amazing. And you know, I think we feel that in our community, that dedication and the history that sits here in our community with, you know, the university there. One of the things that leads me directly to the next part of our conversation, and you talking about taglines and missions. And one of the things that I see often when I'm involved in events in our community, and we see it through our fellows program, but I love the hashtag Aggies Do. And I just wondered if you would, I mean, I think it really speaks to what's happening and how your students are involved. Can you share a little bit about what that means for students and, you know, how you see that happening in your community there?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the other catchphrases I remember is that we don't teach our students what to think, we teach our students how to think. And when I think about that hashtag of Aggies Do, again, as I mentioned before, if you just look around the community and see the level of involvement of Aggies across East Greensboro and throughout Guilford County and the state, and even, you know, we have students from most every state of the US here enrolled currently, as well as several international students. And they come in with very high GPAs, very high aspirations, very high levels of leadership ability when they arrive on campus. And it's just amazing to see how they exemplify the mission of any land-grant university, and that is to expand access to education and to improve student success and to deliver an innovative workforce of tomorrow. So they definitely embody the mission of the university, and that particular mission, you know, it's not just our mission, that's every land-grant university, but we want to also advance and promote research. So we have a lot of students who are involved in research. You may or may not know that Carnegie Foundation has designated North Carolina A&T as an institution of high level research, which is classified as R2, and we're steadily moving towards trying to attain that R1 status with a very high level of research. But we have students at all levels working on different types of research activities, as well as looking for ways to improve society, looking for ways to help boost economic growth, not only for their families, but again, for their surrounding area, and trying to address some of the global challenges in the world. You know, we don't want to see our university as acting as an island. We want to have a global impact as we have in the past. We want to keep carrying that forward. Everybody knows about the Greensboro Four and the global impact of the initiatives that they took. And again, as I mentioned before, that same level of passion and activity continues today, maybe not in the exact same way, but it is still here. I get to see it and experience it on a daily basis, but we want to make sure that when people graduate from North Carolina A&T, that they're ready and willing and able to go out and build healthy and prosperous communities themselves. You know, we want communities to be vibrant and to thrive, and we want to be a part of solutions within communities wherever we are.
I think that that is so impactful, and the idea that that also goes along. Often you'll go and hear the message of Aggie pride, right? In our community,
Mhm.
we hear that often, and I think that's so true to share, what's happening there on campus and share it out both in our local community and around the world. And I think that the students seem to be very powerful in doing that. I had the opportunity recently to go to the opening of the new engineering building
Yes.
there on campus. And when you talk about, we talk about community impact, and it was an amazing, beautiful facility. And I just wonder, looking at that building and the growth that you all are seeing, when you talk to students about coming there and you talk to recruiting faculty, what are the things you share with those folks as they look at the university, that would drive them to enroll there, come to work there? What are some of the things you talk about?
Well, first and foremost, Greensboro is a great place to live and work, and we want to encourage our students to come here and stay, to plant their roots here and stay even after graduation. We want people to know, yes, we are America's largest historically Black college or university, but we had humble beginnings, just like all Black colleges and universities. And there's been a great deal of passion and planning that have gone into getting to the point where the new Chancellor Martin building has opened, as well as other projects that we see taking place. North Carolina A&T Real Estate Foundation will be investing about $60 million into a project right across East Market Street in East Greensboro. And you can see that Bailey Village is going up, a new housing and commercial property right up the street from us. So people can come here and actually see, if they've not been to our campus before, that there is a level of vibrancy and growth that's taking place. Yes, new buildings are opening. What really counts is what's inside, as they used to say in those commercials. What counts is what's inside. So what counts is what's inside those buildings, those new buildings, as well as the old ones that were there. Some of them were old when I was there as a student, as an undergrad. But the learning that takes place in there is absolutely phenomenal. We also want people to know that, we've been highlighted in some of America's top magazines like Money Magazine and in the US News and World Report, that our students come in with very high GPAs. We have a lot of in-state students that attend North Carolina A&T, of course, but we also attract a lot of out-of-state students as well, because people know about the quality of the level of quality of education they will get here, and in addition to the book learning, so to speak, looking at a more holistic approach. That Aggie pride means, as you mentioned before, Aggies do. So there are so many different ways to become involved and to build your leadership skills, to build any type of skills. You should not leave North Carolina A&T feeling lacking in any aspect of your life, because we have the people and the resources here who care about you and who will nurture you and help you to become that person that you want to be. So yeah, it's not all about the GPA, but GPAs are important, grades are important. And then what happens after you leave the campus is important. So we encourage our students while they're here to consider entrepreneurship. We want them to consider going out working in corporate America or in some type of nonprofit, or start the nonprofit yourself, or consider graduate school. There's so many graduate level opportunities at this university. So many different ways you could take a totally different direction from your undergraduate to your master's degree to your PhD. And we have the people and the resources here to help you do that. And then we have great leaders at the top as well. So it is wonderful having Dr. Martin here as our chancellor. He was an instructor of electrical engineering when I was here as an engineering student, industrial engineering student, as an undergrad in the 80s. So it is absolutely wonderful to see him still here, making the impact that he is making. And we also want people to know that Aggies make an economic impact. So, there's been a recent study conducted where in 2019, we measured and found out that the economic output of the university statewide is right around $1.5 billion. So most people don't think about that, but it's important to understand that, this is a vibrant community in East Greensboro, and things are starting to look up more and more over time. And we just want to keep that momentum going. So those are the types of things that we want incoming freshmen to know, that there's just unlimited opportunity here for you to take advantage of. And yes, your grades are important. We want to help you to become that person that you want to be, so that you can go out into society and really contribute in a major sort of way.
That again, that impact, the impact that happens both, in our local economy for those students as they move forward in their life. There are just all sorts of different ways to measure that. So all very important.
Mhm.
That being said, are there any programs around community engagement that you'd like to highlight, or any, give us an example of something that you all are doing, interacting with our local community that, folks may not know about, or you want to share a little more information about?
Oh, absolutely. So we have an event coming up May 21st on our campus, open to the community. Pre-registration is required, but on May 21st, Office of Engagement and Outreach, as well as one of our centers of excellence in entrepreneurship and innovation, they have collaborated for a family date night in Aggieland. So it's free and open to the public. We want to encourage families to come out to enjoy some refreshments, some good music and dancing. We'll have entertainment there, and one of those cameras that goes all the way around, the 360 type cameras. Just a fun night out. Saturday, May 21st from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Now our registration for that does end on May 13th. So you can do a Google search to learn more about it and to get registered. And also have a Community and Economic Engagement Summit that will be coming up during the greatest homecoming on earth in 2022, October 26th, that Wednesday before things really get kicked off. We will have our second Community and Economic Engagement Summit. Last October was our inaugural summit, and we had, it was both virtual as well as in person. We had over 20 different types of workshops and things like that going on to support entrepreneurship, to support different types of topics that might be of specific importance to people. We had 3 keynote speakers. We had over 400 people attend, both virtually and in person. It was a wonderful free event, and we're going to try to repeat that and do even better this year to make sure that we provide opportunities for people to learn more about entrepreneurship, learn more about making an economic impact, more about how to make a community impact as well. So look forward to that. Mark your calendars for October 26th. It's a full day event.
Nice. The audience for that event is, who is invited to that event?
Our target audience is business owners or people who would like to become business owners down the road. So that was the focus of most of our workshops, but we also had workshops for, say, professors who are looking for ways to actualize their research in the community. We had people there that could teach about getting grants, people that could teach about becoming certified with the state so that you can provide products and services to the state. Or if you wanted to become a supplier to the university, how would you work with procurement to do that? So the target audience, people in the community who aspire to make a greater impact with their small, medium, or large size business, or if they're just at the ideation stage, how can we help them take that idea and bring it to fruition? So that was our target audience. We had some students enrolled as well last year. We hope to have a greater student involvement this year as well. But mostly, we found that our audience last year were mostly people who may already have a job, may already have a degree, but were looking for things that they could do either as a side gig or perhaps take a small business they already have and really take it to the next level. So we know that when people have thriving small businesses in their community, they're providing jobs, Some of those jobs have benefits. They're providing income with those jobs. They're providing a sense of community. They're providing services or products throughout the community. So those small businesses, as we know, are the backbone in many places in America that really help to sustain a community. So we really want to make sure that we focus on those aspiring and current entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. It sounds like an amazing resource to have right here, right in Greensboro. You may have mentioned it earlier. I just want to make sure we highlight, if someone is looking to attend that event, where should they be watching for updates? What's their resource that way?
Sure. So when we release the announcements about the upcoming summit, that will be from well, we do have a community engagement webpage. So if you go to Google and type in NCAT and community engagement, when it's time for the next summit to be announced, we will post it there. And I believe we also provide through university relations, we'll do press releases, things like that, to make sure that people know the when and the where and how to get registered.
Right. So they can use it. It sounds like going on the web and looking at the university website and community engagement page, both for the family event and for the upcoming summit and all other things happening where the community can be involved. That's a good place for folks to mark that as a resource and keep taking a look at that, stay informed.
Exactly. Yes, and yes, Google is our friend here, because if it's not on the community engagement page, then it could be on one of our other pages like academic affairs or the provost's office. So different entities on campus have their web pages, but if you use Google to do your searching, generally it will take you to the right place so that you can learn more and get registered for an event.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. It sounds like all of those sound fun and interesting in a different way. And there's, as you said, what's the official title for homecoming? It's the greatest homecoming on earth. Is that right?
Right. Jiho.
That's
right.
right.
It
The
really is
greatest
the greatest homecoming. Yes.
right. And is also an experience that's really amazing and lots of fun. So that will be happening
Yes.
as well. That's right.
Yes.
Well, if somebody cannot come to the greatest homecoming on earth and they're not in our area, what, as we come to the end of our time here and you think about sharing what's happening and what it means to be a part of North Carolina A&T State University, what would you share with us to give us a high level overview and just really give us a picture of what it means to be involved there?
I would describe North Carolina A&T State University as a place where people can come get a great education and a great sense of belonging. And yes, whether they are actually a student here or not, we find, especially during that greatest homecoming on earth, that people come here, enjoy themselves, learn something, network. There's always something to be gained. It's a great place to come and be a student. It's a great place to visit. If you're ever in Greensboro or East Greensboro, definitely a place where you can come, feel comfortable, touring our campus, learning more about the impact that the campus has had, not just locally, but nationally, internationally as well. There's a lot of history here. So for those history buffs out there, you can come here and learn a lot about Black history, a lot about North Carolina A&T's history, and a lot about just history in general. And you can see how that history has played out over the years. You can see a vibrant campus that is continuing to grow and seek further ways that we can improve our local community and have an impact outside of our local community. East Greensboro, as I mentioned before, things are looking up and we want to continue that momentum. So this is a great place to be. Come see us. Come to Greensboro. You know, we have a lot going on with local businesses coming to this area. The Toyota announcement, the aviation announcement, so many announcements about big corporations coming this way. It's because they understand that we have a highly educated workforce, that we have great climate. You get all 4 seasons here. You've got an easily navigable city that you can live in or around. and the people are just super nice. So definitely anyone who's considering relocating to Greensboro, they can come here and actually have a wonderful life, I do believe.
I absolutely agree with that. And I'm so glad that you highlighted all of that for us. We are coming to the end of our time here, and I appreciate your insight so much. And we certainly at Action Greensboro and with Campus Greensboro, we've had students, come through our fellows program, and we really appreciate the partnership. And we hope that we are all encouraging those students to learn more about Greensboro and what it means to live, work, learn and play here, and certainly want to give the opportunity to highlight North Carolina A&T and all the excellent work that's happening there and all of the exciting new things that are being developed every day. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time as well. I appreciate being here.
Make sure to subscribe so you get new episodes delivered to your device each week. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GSO Chamber. See you next time.